Every year, usually during our graduation ceremonies, UBC has the honor of bestowing honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the university community, have fit the criteria of excellence and eminence in their chosen field. Garry Merkel exemplifies these characteristics, and it is our pleasure to grant him an honorary degree. Garry Merkel is a member of the Tahltan Nation and a registered professional forester who has made remarkable contributions to advance culturally relevant education and economic self-determination of Indigenous peoples. A small sampling of his numerous activities includes chairing the Aboriginal Forestry Education and Training Review that fostered a collaborative national post-secondary approach to improving Indigenous resource management education in Canada. He also worked with the UBC First Nations House of Learning to establish an Indigenous forestry initiative at UBC. And he is the co-founder and co-chair of the First Nations Council of Advisors for the UBC Faculty of Forestry. He also supported the development and ongoing implementation of the Nicola Valley Institute of Technology as a board member, vice chair, chair, and acting president over a 24-year period. During this time, he conducted 2 independent reviews of the implementation of BC's Aboriginal post-secondary education strategy for the Ministry of Advanced Education. He has also led numerous initiatives to further support social and economic well-being of Indigenous peoples, including the BC Aboriginal Housing Strategy, the BC Aboriginal Governance Initiative, and BC First Nations Housing and Infrastructure Council, which he currently serves as the senior negotiator. It is important to further note that he was instrumental in the creation of the Columbia Basin Trust, and then served as elected vice chair of the trust when it was passed into legislation in 1995, and as chair from 2005 to 2013. In recognition of his long and influential record of service in support of Indigenous peoples and Indigenous post-secondary education, we are pleased to confer the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon Garry Everett Merkel. It now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Merkel to say a few words.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, and members of the UBC community. My name is Garry Merkel, Nadi Tenaza Ushe. My Tahltan name is Nadi Tenaza, means strong man. Hukaklik Kiak Hunik. My Dunaka name is Kiak Hunik, which means fish person. I stand before you deeply humbled today and deeply grateful for this recognition. But at the same time, I have mixed feelings because the things I have done in my life have been on the backs of so many other great people, many of whom have not been recognized in this manner and deserve it, are very deserving. So many of us have worked together to try to help build a new and better life for our people, and so we can exist as equals in Canadian society, not just in name, but in practice. And this incredible group of people, we all kind of live by an old adage that I really like. It's from Chief Dan George. He was chief at Tsleil-Waututh for a long time. And he used to say, "Oh God, like the thunderbird of old, I shall rise again out of the sea. I shall grab the instruments of the white man's success, his education, his skills, and with these new tools, I shall build my race into the proudest segment of your society." This group of great people that I speak about all believe this, and we all live by this adage. So Many years ago, I started mostly in land. And then at one point, I started to move into this whole education field. And it happened because I took a job as the provincial forester for Indian Affairs. And the fellow I took over from had just completed a research study. And he found at that time, and this was in the 70s, I think it was, maybe it was, yeah, actually it was the 80s, late 80s. He found at that time that in all of Canada, there was 12 Aboriginal post-secondary graduates in the field of natural resources, fish, forestry, agrology, whatever, 12. And there was two of those were professionals. And that was right around the time that Delgamuukw and Sparrow had happened and our Aboriginal rights were recognized. And it was clear that we were moving into a very new and very different relationship between the Crown and the Indigenous community in this country with respect to how we manage and look after land. And that we were going to need a very deep and meaningful working relationship in land management. And we just did not have the people to help us lead down that path. So we started this group of people from across the country. It was called AFTER, the Aboriginal Forestry Training and Employment Review. And we worked with the entire post-secondary community and government across Canada to build and implement a national strategy to promote Aboriginal people getting through post-secondary education and natural resources. And out of that route, many people have taken that route a lot of places. I was the chair of that group at the time. We took this has grown now to today, where I look and I can see that we now have thousands of Aboriginal post-secondary graduates in agrology, ecology, forestry, fisheries, conservation, every kind, mining engineers, and every other natural resource field you can think of. And they are profoundly changing the face of the landscape, both by helping be translators for their communities so that we can speak each other's language, showing how their community would manage land if it had the opportunity, and making sure that outside land management reflects and takes care of our interests and values on the land in a good way, in a very good way. We're all benefiting from this. Around the same time that happened, a parallel thing was going on in British Columbia. In particular, a friend of mine, Gordon Antoine, had led a task force on Native education. And what we found in that study or task force is that 1 in 20 Aboriginal people who entered post-secondary were actually successful and graduated. And our rates of completion in some areas of secondary was 0%. So let's do the math. No, barely anybody coming out of high school, very few of them going on to post-secondary, and 1 in 20 of those succeeding. And you know what? A lot of people said it was the people. Well, I'm telling you, with stats like that, it's not the people, it's the system. And we built around the same time Nicola Valley Institute of Technology, an Aboriginal college, because we believe that our people can succeed if they're given the opportunity and the conditions are right. And we built an education environment that was tailored to the unique needs of the Aboriginal learner. We pioneered many, many ways of supporting that learner, and our success rate at MVIT was in the 90% range, and we did not compromise on standards, academic standards at all. And so people started to see this and went, oh, you can do it. So we built a couple of education strategies in the province, Aboriginal post-secondary education strategies. A lot of it was modeled on the experience that we had at MVIT, and there was a couple other Aboriginal higher learning organizations that did this. And today, and this was only like a couple decades ago that we were really doing this work, Today, an Aboriginal student who enters post-secondary has the same chance as any other student of success in British Columbia. And for me, that is huge. Those people have made such a difference in our lives as communities. We can make things happen now. We can organize a meeting and have everything there and ready. We all agree what's going to happen. We can take it away and we can make it happen. We can build government. We can build education. We can build foundations. We can build healing, ways of healing our communities. We can build so many things, and we're seeing this everywhere right now. Profound, profound difference. All of this happened because of that group of what I spoke about of great, great dedicated people. I'm just one of those people. And I just really want to say how much I've been honored to be a small part of that, and that we had a chance to do this. And I say I accept this recognition on behalf of all of those people. And more importantly, I say to you out there, the students out there, this is what you can do if you decide that you want to make a difference. Just start working with all the other great people and just start to work on it your life and really work hard at it. Keep your eye on the ball, keep a good solid vision, and you will make a huge difference in your life and in everybody else's life. Stick with it, persevere. Medu, thank you. Tachas. I tell this to almost every time I talk to students. I tell them that, I have a rule in life, and it works like this. It's go out and solve everything while you still know everything. Because when you first start something, you know everything. When you first come out of school, it's like you know everything. And everybody's taught you everything. And the best thing you're going to be able to do for yourself, two things. One is unlearn everything you learned in that you don't know anything really right now. You've learned how to learn, and you've learned how to work hard. Use those two things and just don't be afraid to dream. President Obama didn't know he was going to be president when he was born. People don't know. They get there because they just have this idea of doing what's right, and they stick to it and they persevere and they work. And over time, it's amazing if you do that with a good heart and you just do the hard work all the time, that things happen. It's funny how this works. I don't know how it works, but if you just stick at it and you work hard and you work in a good way, they start to happen and they start to unfold in front of you. And sometimes they might take 10 or 20 years, but that's okay. You can make big changes, just you as a person, because people will come to you and you'll find people who think like you, and you will make big changes. So that's what I say to grads. And because I've done this. And I tell you, if you look at where I came from, you may not have ever believed that I would be here, ever.